If you want to outrank your competitors in Google, then you should steal their backlinks. Today, I'm going to show you how you can find every backlink your competitor has, filter for the high quality ones, and reach out to get those same backlinks pointing to your website so that you receive the benefit. Just a quick background on what backlinks actually are. Backlink is just a link from another website pointing back to your own website, which gives trust signals to Google via association. If a trusted high domain authority site is linking out to you on the internet, Google will look at this and go, okay, we trust this high domain authority site and they are passing trust onto this other site via a backlink, then we can also trust this site a little bit as well. So that is how you will then prop up your domain rating or domain authority. This will then help you outrank your competitors for your target keywords. A few years back, many SEO professionals would argue that SEO is essentially just content and backlinks. I don't believe that that's 100% true anymore. But if you have all of your content and SEO fundamentals down pat, backlinks will be the single most important thing that will help you move the needle for your website. Now, we don't want to steal every single backlink that your competitor has. Some of these are going to be low quality and toxic or spammy. We want to just filter through and pick the most high quality, high authority backlinks that are going to help us push our brand forward. By the end of this video, you'll have a spreadsheet full of backlink opportunities that are already working for your competitors. Then I'll show you how to reach out and acquire these backlinks via guest post or link insertion, which are the most effective way to build backlinks. Okay, so let's get into it. So to get started, we're going to need an SEO research tool. There are two main options that I recommend on the market, one being Ahrefs and the other being SEMrush. For Ahrefs, they have a starter plan, which is 29 USD a month. For most small businesses, this is going to be more than enough because you get 100 credits per month to work with. There is also an option on SEMrush and you can get a 7-day free trial. So you can essentially do all of this backlink research within a week and then cancel it if you wish. If you want to see the full list of SEO and digital marketing tools that I recommend, I will leave a link in the description to the page on my website where I go through everything that I use on a day-to-day basis. And there's a heap of good free options that you can use that work well for most service-based businesses. So Ahrefs can be quite complex and difficult to use at first if you've never used it before, but follow along closely in this video and I'll show you step by step how to use it. Now, to begin this research, we need to find some competitors. So what I'm going to do is go over to Google, and for this example, I'm going to use electricians. So I'm going to search electrician Sydney, and then we will get a list of all the top ranking sites. So what you want to do is just go through here and just in a new tab, open a bunch of the top ranking sites. And then we will then grab their URL where we can then run it through Ahrefs and do an audit and find out all of the backlinks that they are receiving to their website. So I've just opened a few of the top ranking electricians in Sydney. Here they are. And for this example, I'm just going to grab this URL here, abelectricians.com.au. And we're going to take it over to Ahrefs and we're just going to paste it into this bar here. It's going to then do an audit of the site. And you can see here that they have a DR, which is domain rating of 46, which is extremely high for a local service-based business. They also receive 1.7K organic traffic, also extremely high. And they have 563 backlinks and 291 referring domains. What we're after is the referring domains because you can technically have more than one backlink from one site, but that has little to no effect on SEO the more backlinks you get from one source. So we're going to look at referring domains. So now we have their entire list of domains, which is 291. Not all of these are going to be high quality. A lot of them may be sort of directories or sort of spam links. So what we want to do is just filter this to make sure we see the absolute best referring domains pointing to their website. So up here where it says best links, so I'm going to click on that, best links only, and then show results. And here we now have a list of 36 really high quality domains that are all pointing back to this website here. So what you can actually do with this information here is you can dig a little bit deeper. So if you look into, say, one of these backlinks here from vktr.com, you can click on the arrow drop down and you can actually see the name of the article that the backlink backlink is coming from. AI's energy bill is exploding. Here's how companies can keep costs down. And then over here, you can actually see the anchor text that is used within this article, which is AB Electrical and Communications. And this is actually what's known as a branded anchor text, where you use the brand name of your business and then link it back to usually your homepage like they have done here. So I can click on this link and just see how they've featured it within this article. If we scroll down, they just talk about AI and energy bills, but you should be able to find a backlink pointing to the website. Yep, here it is here. And they've actually used it in a quote. So said Adam Bushell, Director of AB Electrical and Communications, and then they feature his quote. But if you were to click on this, this is linking straight back to the homepage. And on this homepage, they have their brand name, and they also have the main keyword, which is Master Electrician Sydney. So if you look here under headings, that's their H2, and that is their H1 there. So that is the number one keyword targeting on the homepage, and it's also going to be the keyword that has the most search volume out there. So I want to quickly talk a little bit more about anchor text because they're super important in your backlink building campaign. You need to have a diverse range of anchor text that you use. If you keep spamming a singular keyword such as electrician Sydney over and over again, this can look quite unnatural in Google's eyes, and in some occasions can actually lead to a Google penalty. So if you look at this site's anchor text profile, they do a really good job of diversifying this and using a wide range of anchor text. So for this one here, you can see they use a branded anchor text, AB Electrical and Communications, to the homepage. But on this one here, they use the anchor text small electrical company. So they're just really changing it up and using a wide range of anchor text so that it looks more natural and Google can get a wider understanding of what their site and business is about. For the most part, you'll want to send most of these backlinks to the homepage as it is the most powerful and strong page on your website and it's going to yield the greatest results. But once you build up enough domain authority or domain rating, you can then start branching and targeting certain services on your site. So for instance, they have a page here called EV charger installation. You could then start building backlinks to the site to then start ranking for these keywords and hopefully get more inquiries and quotes for these sorts of jobs. But as a brand new business, I would recommend building at least 5 to 10 branded anchor text backlinks to the homepage before you start branching out and using any sort of electrical or service variation keywords. So basically what we want to do is just grab all of these 36 domains and we want to paste them into a spreadsheet. So I'll just do one for an example, just copy that. And I have a spreadsheet here. So it's got source, domain rating, organic traffic, network graph, which I'll show you in a second, is how to check whether the backlink is toxic. We can then find their email address to reach out to this source to obtain the backlink, as well as the price and any sort of special notes we may need to know about. So I'll just paste that there, 87, and it has roughly 80K traffic. So I'll just put 87 and 80K. So once you've recorded all of these domains from this one website, you want to repeat the process and look at a few other competitors. So you do the exact same thing for these guys, as well as these guys, and maybe a few others until you have about 50 to 100 super high quality domains that you can then reach out to and start acquiring backlinks for. What I mentioned just before about the network graph, this is the last thing I like to do before reaching out and asking for a backlink. So I'll grab that and go over to SEMrush and just paste it in their search bar. And from here, you want to just scroll down to backlink analytics. And these guys do a really good job of seeing all of the domains that the source is pointing out to, as well as the source is pointing to that website. So over here, you can actually see that the network graph is suspicious. So this means that this is most likely a super heavy guest post backlinking site and that there's a lot of toxic domains pointing towards it to sort of boost it up and be more appealing to people purchasing backlinks. So I would actually avoid this site as it can probably do more harm than good. Usually it'll say suspicious or dangerous if it's not very safe, or it will say healthy and reputable if it is good. So this one here, I would just write over here. And usually what I'll do is just mark this as red because this means I do not want to touch this. So make sure you don't accidentally purchase a backlink from this site. Here is another example. I just put in a new domain, housedigest.com, and over here the network graph is reputable, which is good to see. 261k organic traffic and really high domain authority. So we want to reach out to this site, and this will be very beneficial for our site and most likely boost a lot of the rankings for keywords that we're actively targeting. Now, how do we even obtain these backlinks? So the easiest way would just be going to a link vendor. Two that I like are Link Publishers and Link House. They have a massive library of sites that you can purchase backlinks on. Generally speaking, though, these will be a little bit more expensive than just reaching out to the website directly and asking them for a sponsored article. So one from this list before is abcmoney.co.uk, and I'm pretty sure this is featured on Link Publishers, and I'll just show you how to do it. You go on Marketplace, and then if we paste this domain, here it is, it shows up, and this guest post will cost you 124 USD, or you can get a link insertion for 98 USD. So this is pretty expensive for what it is. So this is something that I would probably reach out to the site directly and see if I can sort of get something under $100, maybe $50 to $100, and I would think that's quite fair. Just quickly, a guest post is an article that you create yourself. So you will generate it most likely with AI, and you'll feature your own backlink and anchor text within this article. You will then pay the site, and then they will publish it on their website, and that is how you receive the backlink back to your own website. Whereas a link insertion is actually where you will do the research and you'll find an article already on their website. Usually best if it already has organic traffic, and then you'll sort of just recommend them to add a backlink into the content that's already there and link back to your site. This is usually a little bit harder and more time consuming to do. So I usually just stick to guest posts because I can control the narrative, I can control the topic and the content that we're talking about, and it's just a bit more relevant to what I'm trying to do. So if you're like me and you think 124 USD is a bit too expensive, you will then want to just reach out to this site. So if you just go over to their website, usually look for a contact page or look in their footer, you will find an email address. And usually what you want to do is just email and be like, hey, I want to feature a guest article on your website. If this is something that you do, please inform me of the price. They'll usually get back to you with a price. You can haggle this price down if you want, if you believe it is not fair. Usually I aim to try and purchase backlinks between 50 and 150 Australian. Sometimes super high quality backlinks can set you back $200, $300, $400. So I'm just going to quickly run through an example of how you can create a guest post. I'm going to be using this example website again, and I'm going to be doing a guest post to target their EV charger installations page. So the first thing you want to do is open ChatGPT and then feed it something like this. I want you to give me some informational blog topic ideas that are relevant to electric vehicles. Search the web and make sure these topics are covered by other brands and have search volume. This should give us a list of topics that we can then go and write about. I will then just select a topic I think works well for this. So this one here is quite simple and easy. So what to know before buying your first electric vehicle. I'll then take that topic and paste it into Google, and then we'll see all the people who are already talking about this topic. So what I'll do is just open 5 of these, the top 5 ranking articles, and then we will go over to Claude to generate this article. So now once we're over in Claude, we want to just paste this prompt, which I'll leave in the description of this video if you want to use it. Something similar will work just fine as well. So I want you to write an informational guest post article, add topic. So we'll just copy this topic again, paste that there, and then competitor research articles. Quickly copy all of these URLs. And then the rest of it says, deeply research these 5 articles, find out what headings and information they are covering, how they're structured for SEO optimization, the total word count of each article, and then calculate the average word count and write my article to match this average in Australian English using Australian terminology. humanize the content so that it passes AI detection tests, naturally incorporate relevant keywords and variations, use proper heading structure, H2s, H3s, etc. And then we want to just click generate. So here is the article that has just been generated. If you like, you can keep going back and forth and change little things to make it sound as good as you want. Once you're happy with that, the next step is to add the backlink and add it to an anchor text within this content. So what I'm going to do is just add this little prompt here. I want you to add a clickable backlink into the content towards the top of the article with the anchor text EV charger installation. I want you to link it to this URL, and then we'll grab the EV charger installation URL and then say something like add this backlink anchor text into the content natural as possible without forcing. We'll just see what this comes back with. Okay, so we now have this article back, and under the section, the cost of home charging installation, we have a little line here, professional EV charger installation, ensures your system, da 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 da. And then you click on that, it takes you back to your service page. So that's perfect. We just want to grab this content and we want to just throw it into a Google Doc. From here, we can just go File, Download Microsoft Word. And then if you were going to purchase this in Link Publishers, you would just come over here. You'd come over here, find your site, add it to cart, and then when you go to checkout, you would select guest post, and then you would just upload your article and purchase this. And then within a few days, you will have a live guest post. Or alternatively, you would just send this via email to the person you've been talking to, and they will usually just send you a PayPal invoice. Once you pay that, it'll go live within a few days, and there is your live backlink. So there you have it. That is the entire process of how you can start stealing your competitors' backlinks and start improving your domain authority and start ranking for more of your high commercial intent keywords. I'd highly recommend building at least one high quality backlink per month to keep the momentum going, but that is not saying that you can't build anywhere from say 5 to even 10 of these backlinks per month, just depending on time, resources, budget, etc. So if you found this video enjoyable and helpful, give the video a like and also subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on any future SEO or digital marketing videos. Cheers.